Sarah, we are a week away from the premiere. I am super excited. Are you?
Oh my gosh! I am so excited. I can hardly contain it.
No, me neither. We can't contain it. We've been working on this since 2023 and...
2023,
Wow.
and our premiere date is next week.
Thursday.
And I don't know about you, Yenni, but this kind of feels like Christmas or when I'm about to give a gift and I like start getting so excited for the person to open the gift that I'm like, just open it already. Let me show you.
Oh.
So, like, Yenni, do we want to share some information with the listeners now?
Maybe we should.
Just a little bit?
Let's take this episode to really quick, explain who we are, why we're doing this. I think that's good. So, yeah, you know what? You start. I'm giving you the baton.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So, hello, listeners. My name is Sarah. I am a voice actress based out of Texas. And when I am not inside my studio, you can find me outside, hiking on mountainous trails, trying to die under the weight of a backpack, playing in rivers, traveling all over the place, and otherwise just harassing my husband and my pets.
Oh.
It's great.
Yeah, I love that. I am not as cool as Sarah in hiking. You will never catch
Yes,
me
you
hiking.
are. Yes, but you are so cool.
So cool.
Guys, she's a salsa dancing instructor.
Okay. So my name is Yenni. I reside in Miami, Florida. I am a Cuban-American voice actress, and I am a professional salsa dancer. I'm also a realtor. I also teach actors how to be a voice actor. And I have been dubbing for the past 5 years. And Sarah
5 years, I think,
has been dubbing forever.
4 years.
Okay.
Well, dubbing for 4 years,
Yeah.
but yeah, both of us and also, side note, Yenni, that all sounded so cool. I think you topped me there.
No.
So, but Yenni and I have both been in the field of voice acting since, 2017, 2018?
Yeah.
Cool. And we actually met through voiceover because I don't know if y'all noticed, I said I lived in Texas. She said she lived in Florida.
Yeah.
So how does it work that we've become such good friends, Yenni?
Oh, we're not good friends. We're best friends.
We're best friends.
Yeah.
Yes. But how? Because we've got a couple miles between us, just a couple.
Well, it was definitely thanks to Twitter, which is now x.com or whatever.
Which is now X. And how often do you hear a sentence that's like, thanks to Twitter, thanks to X?
Well, thanks to Twitter, I was wanting to go to VO Atlanta, which is this huge voiceover convention. Sarah
and this was around 2019.
Yeah. Sarah was going to, and we were just, friends, I guess social media friends, if anything, acquaintances.
We were aware of each other.
Yeah.
I knew that you did a lot of stuff with a lot of the continuing education with Casting Call Club.
Mm-hmm.
We had popped up in a couple of small independent projects together, been like, oh, hey, yeah, you're talented, you're cool to work with, you're nice, cool, whatever.
And then all of a sudden I asked if someone wanted to bunk with me at VOA Atlanta. And Sarah said yes. Other people said yes, but I was like, I think Sarah might work out. Mind you, Sarah and I had never talked.
We'd never met.
Never had a full-blown conversation together.
We'd never had a
wild.
one-on-one conversation.
Never.
And it was I'm so glad that you picked me because I remember where I was. I was sitting in my apartment on my couch just scrolling Twitter because I was booking my flights for VO Atlanta. I was like, I need to figure out the hotel situation. And then here's this post of Yenni saying, hey, I really need a roommate. And as I am typing, oh, I'm interested, in my brain I'm going, what am I doing? I don't know this person. It was great.
And then we met and we're like, oh, hi. And it was awkward for all of 5 minutes. Not even.
Yeah.
It was instantaneous.
It was instantaneous. It was kind of well, which bed do you want? Okay, you got that bed. Are you a morning shower or a night shower? Oh, okay. Then we just clicked.
And then there was wine. There was wine and face
masks.
We did an amazing massage session.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice. Yeah, we had some time between sessions, so we booked this massage therapy place. We watched some
Soul
comedy.
Spa. It's called
Soul Spa. And
So
then we were
fun.
also like going to all of these different sessions at VO Atlanta. We would like divide and
Yes.
conquer. We're like, hey, if you take notes on this one, I'll take notes on this one, and we can swap notes.
Mhm.
It was great. And the rest is history.
It is. And one thing I do have to mention, it was very quick where we became side-eye besties because we would just look at each other and be like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we realized we had very similar like views of the world.
Yeah.
Like we had very similar personal beliefs, like those
Yeah.
really important aspects for like deep relationships. Like we were like,
Yes.
all right, cool. Mm-hmm.
And it's been since then. It's like inseparable. We try to see each other every year. It doesn't always work that way, but that's okay.
But we do try. But we do like text daily and stuff.
Every day.
Yeah,
Every
pretty
day.
much. Pretty much.
So, I mean, we've known each other for this long. And Sarah, what really sparked Story Sirens? We should talk about that too.
Yeah. So Yenni and I realized, like, after VO Atlanta, we did a few more projects together. And we realized we worked really well together. Because again, like along with like those personal beliefs, those core values, we also had very similar work ethics. And as we were getting more and more into voiceover, as our careers were growing there, we did realize, hey, we should collaborate and do something together because we've got good chemistry. We've got a lot of ideas. And so we started thinking about like, well, what does every other millennial do? Oh, let's start a podcast.
Yes. And then it was like, well, what type of podcast?
Yeah, what type of podcast? Because for a while we were like, oh, well, we could do a podcast about voiceover. And, you know, we thought about that. We debated it. And we were like, you know, there are a lot of voiceover podcasts that we like listening to. Do we really have much to add to that? Well, we should still do some sort of podcast. So then we just started talking about, you know, our own interests and all that sort of stuff. And then, like, somehow at the start of like 2023, I think, and Yenni, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think we were both like talking about like the books we were reading, and both of us were reading like a lot of fantasy.
Fantasy, yes. And then we're like, wait a second.
What if we did like a podcast about like fantasy and history and maybe a little true crime? Like it started as this very broad idea of basically we would be telling stories, some fact, some fiction, and like going through that. But that started in 2023. Back in March of 2023, I remember we were still kind of like, we're part true crime, part history. Yeah. And then like we were like, what if we like just simplify this?
Yeah.
And we do like
Myths
the
and
history of
legends.
myths and legends, and like we can deep dive in like some of our favorite characters from books, because we were talking about how like a lot of our favorite books have characters who are inspired from like real world myths and legends. So yeah, but we had started talking about creating a podcast in 2022.
Yes. And it just took time. This has taken us a long time to do because we had to start seeing like, well, we're going to have to shift our schedules around to make this happen. Actually, we meet every Tuesday and Thursday, and it's a lot because you have to put time aside for this. And as we are both self-employed people, it is a little difficult, but we've been very blessed to be able to put our time together, do this. And we are so excited to have this finally air. You know, it's we even have heard like the first episode, and you'll see the difference.
It's
I feel
so
like
exciting.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so cool to see the difference of like how we started episode 1 and how we like grew into this podcast by episode 10, because we got 10 episodes ready to go.
Ready for our listeners. So I know we're hyping this up a whole bunch. I know that you're just listening to us ramble. Get used to it. There's going to be a lot of rambling in Story Sirens, but some really fun stuff. And Yenni, do we want to give them like maybe a little bit of a preview of what they're going to be hearing in Story Sirens?
I guess.
Maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. Buckle up, listeners. This is going to be fun. And her father demands that she identify the baby's father because he's thinking it's one of the men of his court.
I'm sorry, this is really Jerry Springer. Tell me, who is the baby's father? Tell me right now. Well, I'm giving them an English accent, but they're Scottish, but my Scottish is like laughable.
They're often attributed to gods of the air and sky, and in some myths, their avian form is said to be Oh, see, you're not the only one stuttering.
Because they would come out saying like, do you want to be Bernardo? You want me to? I'm going to call it Coco right now and be like, right now, come pick up this bad child. Like that.
Do you want to be Bernardo?
Can I go on a tangent real quick?
Is there anything I can say to stop you?
No. The Jade Emperor wasn't exactly happy to be tricked by a monkey. I don't think anyone was. And again, this brings back the whole thing where don't judge a book by its cover. Yes, he's a monkey, but he will beat all of you.
Exactly. He was brilliant. Werewolves vary in villainy. Some seen as guardian spirits, some being humans who have reached a higher level of spiritual enlightenment.
And some can be in love with you, but not really because they're actually in love with your womb and end up imprinting on your child. But I digress. Let's keep going.
We went there. Story Sirens premieres September 5th.
Thanks for listening to Story Sirens. You can follow us on Instagram at Story Sirens Podcast. Want to support us? Send us a cup of Ko-fi by searching ko-fi.com/Story Sirens. We've got lots of treats for those who become siren seekers. All research materials can be found in the episode summary. Music by Donald Guzzi and artwork by Alexis Torres. Story Sirens is a Feather and Fin production. See you soon.